Super Strider here. I'm doing a vlog now. I just finished a game I bought for my 360 like about a week and a half ago. This game's been out for about at least since February, I believe. But I got it recently because actually the Spoony one started a Let's Play of it fairly recently. I think he aired the first episode about 2 weeks ago. And it actually looked pretty good, and lo and behold, and then after I saw the first episode the next day, I bought a copy off eBay. If you haven't figured out what I'm talking about, Deadly Premonition. I know some of you want to laugh right now. Yeah, I've heard the hype on the internet that it says it's a really silly survival horror, and yes, there are some parts it's pretty much you'll laugh at, but still, it's fun to play. When I saw the video, I'm into survival horrors, so I figured I'd try it. And I'm actually quite pleased that I spent $20 to pay for this, considering it's still a fairly new game, and most 360 games still run, even if they've been out for like a few months, still cost an ungodly amount of money. I remember when I bought Left 4 Dead 2, and it's already been out for at least 4 or 5 months, I still had to pay $60 for it. But we're talking about Deadly Premonition. I'm going to let you guys know now that there may be some spoilers I might get to in this video. I do not know if I will actually address them, but I'm giving you forewarning and fair warning, and if you don't want to hear the spoilers, I suggest you stop this video now. Otherwise, let's talk about it. In the storyline, you assume the role of an FBI agent known as Francis York Morgan. And once you figure out this partway, it's just in the prologue, that he is a little odd, to say the least. The guy suffers from multiple personalities disorder, and he has an imaginary friend that he talks to named Zach. Actually, a good part of the story revolves around York and Zach, and you find out the actual true link to them like near the end of the game. And I don't want to spoil that for you because it's actually pretty surprising, and I suggest you should play the game to figure that out. Well, I am going to tell you though, the gameplay basically, think of Resident Evil, or basically Resident Evil 4. That's just the way, the control style is pretty much the same. Spoony one complained about how you aim and stuff like that. I remember in his Let's Play, which when I tried it, it was almost exactly like the aiming your gun in Resident Evil 4. It was pretty much second nature to me. I am going to discuss some of the things I have to nitpick about it, even though I had a hell of a lot of fun. One! And everyone's going to say this. Number one, the driving things, when you have to drive your car to places, it gets tedious. Apparently, there's a side quest you can get a radio which allows you to bypass most of the driving. I did not do that. So, yeah, I had to, when I was playing through my playthrough, I have to drive everywhere. Of course, as well as you're supposed to abide by the rules of the road. For the good portion of the game, I did that. It got to near the end where I just say F it, and I'm just gonna floor my squad car at like 80 miles an hour in residential areas, and just saying, anyone who gets in my way, you just stay out of my way. Some of the stuff I've done in the driving, I'm pretty sure you could get arrested for. But yeah. Number two, the zombies. These zombies are like really, really weird. They have like the Spoony one described it as a Joker face. They kind of look like Heath Ledger from the Dark Knight, except they have no eyes. And apparently, if you hold your breath, they can't see you. It's ridiculous. Apparently, they're blind, but they can hear you breathing. So if you hold your breath, they lose where you are. There is a subset of those zombies that's like really, really creepy. They were called the creeping shadows. Another thing that rubbed me the wrong way is that the zombies are called shadows, and I'm a fan of the Shin Megami Tensei series, specifically of the Persona series, and the enemies in there are shadows. But enough about that. Basically, the creeping shadows, they have optic stealth camouflage. Apparently, they make themselves invisible unless you shine your flashlight on them for a prolonged period. And once you shine your flashlight and you keep on them, and they only really appear when they're about to attack you. And they swing down from like they're crawling on the walls, like doing a crab walk thing, or on the ceiling. And it looks like the chick from The Ring. But when you look at her face, her mouth goes like kind of like that. It's like really, really big, and her eyes are like all bugged out. It's like someone stuck ping pong balls in her eye sockets and drew on a pupil with a permanent marker. It's really, really creepy, as well as it's also kind of laughable when you see it. But yeah, most of the time they crawl and you can't really hit them while they're invisible, even though you can see them, because when they're invisible, they're not truly invisible. It's kind of like that outline you see when you see the guys in self-camouflage in the Metal Gear Solid series, where you can still see it, but apparently they're invulnerable when you point your gun there and shoot. They won't take damage. But they're really easy to cheese, basically. Just run, let them come down right through the attack you, just run past, and apparently just turn around and shoot them. It's annoying, though, because it becomes quite tedious with that. Even with the Magnum, you're probably going to end up unloading at least 10 shots into these things. And when you knock them to the ground, they basically... The only way I can describe it is they fart out this purple ball of gas, which is coming out I do not know where, or I do not want to know. It's really that's disturbing. But yeah, hold on. And apparently you have to dodge that, or otherwise you get knocked to the ground, they'll come back up, and when you finally get on your feet, they have their hands around your neck. The regular zombies, the regular shadows, basically most of them, if they're don't have a weapon, they have a weird way of walking to you, like they turn around, walk backwards, doing a little limbo thing, where they try to put their hand in your mouth. I don't know why, but okay. The ones that actually have weapons will cover their faces, which makes getting headshots a bit harder. And of course, there's a set number of zombies. I think this is the first survival horror I've played where I've seen zombies who had guns. They actually there are zombies that wield shotguns in this. Well, maybe it's not the first. I don't want to include Resident Evil 4 or 5 because those weren't technically zombies. Because these are the living dead, basically. When you read their biography, they're a corpse possessed by an evil spirit. At least it's not rage zombies. Though those are awesome. But they have shotguns. And they can actually shoot you. And they're really good, accurate shots, considering the fact that they're blind.